Well, hello there. If you remember, I said I would come back when I finish writing my book or I move to a new place, whatever comes first, and we have moved. I wish I had more to say about my writing at this point, but I was not doing any writing whatsoever because this move was all-consuming. It was the most difficult move in my life, and I'm counting the one where I moved from Russia to the United States. I don't know if it's because of the permanence of the place, that it's our house, that we bought it, and of course I want it to be perfect right away, and it can't be perfect right away, and there's so many resources and time and work going into that. Maybe because of that, it felt and still kind of feels very monumental and not as easy breezy as my moves into rentals have been up until now. It just feels like a big transitional moment in our lives, and my mood has been all over the place. It's been difficult. I did not anticipate it to be difficult. I've never been this emotional, like just changing the location of where I live. On top of that, there's also like just so much work, so many things to pack and then to unpack and to organize and to order and to do. And all of this is to say, I completely went off the writing bandwagon, so I need to get back on. In order to do that, I'm gonna set up my writing office. So I wanted to take you guys on a journey with me, turning this new construction little den I have upstairs into my writing office, my crafting office, my YouTube office, and an exercise place, a gym of a kind. And all of this in a teeny tiny space of 7 by 10 feet. So that's going to be a journey, and I'll take you on it today. All right, so here's a little sneak peek of what I've been doing yesterday and of what my plan is. I am very excited. My husband is not a fan of this color scheme. As you can see, the rest of our house, which is a new construction, is all white and bright. But I told you guys a long time ago, I want my office space to be very moody, and I have a very specific idea in mind for what I want it to look and feel like. And so that kind of gives you an idea of where I'm going with that. So let's work on the rest of it. Also, there used to be a table here when we just moved, and I'll probably put a clip. I think I have it on video. But what I realized, because originally I thought my exercise bike and the exercise area in general would be in the other space. So because now it needs to fit here, I realized that that gigantic, ginormous corner table that I used to have is not gonna do it. And I need something much more compact. And I actually am gonna get so here are the remnants of the table. You can see it's gigantic, and the space is really teeny tiny, which I adore. I picked the space on purpose because I want this cozy vibe. But because of the constraints of the space and the functionality that I want to achieve, I'm gonna get a folding table. So when I'm not using it, I can fold it, and this way free up some space for exercising, for example. That's the progress of today. It's going very slowly. This is my first time doing this stuff, but that's where we are right now. And I also just got a couple of boxes from Amazon with some more stuff. So let me just unbox that and show you. Okay, so this little guy, sometimes people put as molding on mirrors and stuff. My plan is to have it divide the wall so that it can be like a little wall molding. I think it's gonna work. it's a little too heavy. So originally I was thinking of putting it on the wall and the top over there and the bottom. But given how heavy it is, I think I'll just have it here, and then I'll probably use the black wallpaper on the top and on the bottom, or I'll just extend the bird wallpaper on the top and use the black one on the bottom. I have not decided yet, but I think it would be too much. It's also like very bold. It's like a bold statement, a bold element. So I don't think more than one of those is gonna look good, but it fits the vibe of what I'm looking to achieve. So I think it should be great. I'll just need to order some more of those so that I have enough for the entire room. It's funny because I've had this mail holder for the longest time, and I actually have multiple items like that did not make sense in my previous office space, and it's gonna make all the sense in this new one. And this is the second part of this order. It's the floating shelves. I'm planning to put them, at least some of them, on this wall, and they will hold my favorite books and some trinkets. And I'll probably even put some plants on them in the future. We'll see, but I am excited because as I assemble different elements, it's all kind of starting to come together. Today is June 24th, and I'm planning to finish the office. As you can see, a lot of things are done already, and I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. But I still have about 4 or 5 small-ish boxes that I need to unbox and find a place for them. It's possible that not all of this stuff is going to go in this room, because we also have a bookcase on this floor that's partially mine. And so some of the stuff will go there, but some of it will still go in this location. And I set up like the main things for the craft studio. So there is a chair and a table and some shelving ready, but I have not put away my craft supplies yet. So I'm gonna work on that today. course, it's 110 degrees outside, not the perfect day to run errands. But I did go and grab a couple of plants. These are gonna be the final touches in my office. So a couple of plants and a couple of boxes because I have a lot of open shelving and I don't want the things that are not for display purposes to be extremely visible because, you know, I already have so many elements in my room. So I got a couple of boxes to kind of make it a little more neat. So I'll put it away and then I'll get the plants ready and we'll be done. We got here because I was so busy this June. We had family over and all of sorts of things happened and it's super hot and it's difficult to do anything, but I'm finally done with my office. I cannot believe it. And I have so many things I want to work on. I want to go back to my book. I want to do multiple art projects. I have ideas for that. And I'm just so happy to know that I'm 95% out of the boxes and things are organized the way I want them to be. They're where I need them to be. And I still have things to move around and I will continue working on it slightly. But at this point, the way the room is set up, I can come here and work. And I'm super excited. And this office feels so me, so my creative kind of energy, and I'm just excited to show you guys everything. So as you can see, the room is so tiny. You can see the entire room when we walk into it. And I have 3 main zones. The first zone is my writing / YouTube zone. So I have my table set up. That's the table that can be put away. It's easy to kind of fold it and put it aside if I need to. I think most of the time I won't need to, but if I have to, I will do that. I have my little typewriter pen holder, pencil holder, and I also, so this shade, we've had this lamp for a while, and the original shades, my cat toppled the lamp and the shades, which were glass, were broken. And so for a while, it was just like a temporary shade situation. And once we moved to this house, I decided that I want something that would go with the vibe of this room. And so I got these cute shades and I just love the way they look here. Very cozy and I really like the way it works. It's obviously, it's daytime, so we don't need to have them on, but I just wanted to show what everything looks like when all the light is on and stuff. And then, so my microphone is there and I have a little drawer set. I have not organized inside those drawers yet. Later I'll get to that, but mostly, you know, the desk is what really is important. And then I saw this mirror in Michael's. So originally when I was thinking about having a mirror in this room, I thought about an exercise type of mirror. But then I went to Michael's and I saw this one and I really loved it. I think it works with the space so well. I just love the colors, you know, how it just goes together with the molding and stuff. So I got that and it's gonna be my check the way I look before I film a YouTube video mirror, I guess. And then these, all of these I had for a while, you know, so these are all just my trinkets and stuff on this shelf. And then on this shelf, I have my reading journal, which honestly I haven't been really keeping, but maybe I finally will because it's looking so attractive up here. And then I have this little bluebird because I'm now volunteering as a bluebird monitor. I saw it in Barnes & Noble the other day and I thought, oh, that's just so cute and I need to get it because that's exactly what I'm doing this season. And another thing I have up here is this shelf with my Steven Pressfield books. Like I said probably multiple times on this channel, the top one is like my go-to when it comes to the creative endeavors, like the philosophy, or when I need a little push, or when I need to understand why I am feeling this resistance in terms of creativity and stuff. And then Turning Pro is kind of fun to do the work. Nobody wants to read your shit. Very realistic. So I highly recommend. And this is the wall with some of my favorite books. And so I also put the trinkets and like this little gargoyle I've had for a while, and the plant. And I really wanted to have live plants in here, so here's one. And then from the Golden Compass, I only read the first book and I really liked it, so I need to get to the other two. And here are some other things. So this is a book which I read as a child back in Russia, and it had to do with the location, specifically where I'm from. And so I really like it. It has kind of inspired some of the parts of my book, some of the lore, I guess, or some of the characters. So I'm displaying it here. And then here I have The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, and one of my favorite books, The Hero from Otherwhere, and of course Moth, and this little birdie that I also had for a while. And then I have my friend's little cafe, so nice and cozy. And then Harry Potter books, Narnia, Shadow and Bone, and some other books here. And then I have my quill. When I'm addressing birthday cards or want to have a cute little like name tag or something, I sometimes use quills. Usually I use this one that I got in a calligraphy event, but I want to try this one too because it's very cute. And here I have my writing box where all the files are, the one that I organized before we moved. I'm gonna put the video up here. And then the other boxes are kind of craft boxes with craft materials. And that's it. That's the main sitting area for you. And then if we move this way, that is my crafting area. So I have this wonderful desk that's made specifically for painting and crafting and doing things like that. And I also got this set up because previously I would just sit randomly at different tables throughout the house, and I would always have to like rearrange the setup when I was making my art videos. In this house, I thought it would be nice to have a permanent station, so whenever I'm ready to create something here, I could just put my phone in here and I can film it without arranging anything. And then I have my acrylic paints. I have some glass paints, and I'll need more because I have a glass project coming up, and my watercolors, and then all the brushes here. If you guys watched my video about writers not writing tag, I mentioned there that I used to do clay jewelry, so I decided to get those supplies out as well. So I have some clay and some liquid clay in here. These are just paint markers that I'm using sometimes, and these are the shapes for the clay jewelry. And I also have this little box of tools, a bunch of tools that I use when I work with jewelry. So I decided to kind of have it out because it's been a while. It's been probably like a year maybe that I've been doing that, and that's another part of it. So here of course I have the brushes and the watercolor paper for the miniatures and stuff, but this is another part of clay jewelry tools, because when you are rolling the clay, in order for it to be the same thickness, you need to use stuff like that. I think these might be this might be the same, or this I think is a little bit thicker. So basically you find the correct, yeah, it says 5 millimeters in, oh actually no, they are both 5 millimeters, look at me. So yeah, so this gives you the thickness, and this helps you to kind of keep it consistent between different earrings. So that's also part of the clay jewelry stuff. And then I have some other things. I have some more acrylic paints. They are not able to prop them up like I did with these guys. So I decided to just keep them in here. And then I have pencils, like a bunch of coloring pencils, and these are all pencils for drawing. So all of my creative things here. And the cool thing about it is when I'm filming, I can make sure my phone is being charged as I'm filming, so that I don't get a situation where I'm filming something and my phone just dies randomly. So I'm very happy about that. So that is my little painting area, and I do love this chair. It's so comfortable. I bought it off Amazon. When I looked at the reviews, everybody was saying how comfortable it is, and it is really comfortable, I have to say. So it's also pretty aesthetically pleasing, and it matches, you know, the rest of the style kind of, so I'm very happy with it. And then I also have this little area. So these are the boxes that I told you guys about. So these are also some supplies for jewelry, some extra supplies. This is an example of something I've made before, and these boxes just hold a bunch of like extra things. Because it's open shelving, I thought I would just hide some of the things. But yeah, some more stuff for painting, some books on painting. Then this part, since it's closer to the office, and hello Tristan, kitty, 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 kitty. Oh, you're my girl. I know. So this part, since it's closer to my writing office, I thought I'd put books, like some extra books here that have to do with writing, or you know, YouTube, like this one I'll still be using for another video for YouTube. A bunch of books on like just writing craft, and then more serious books when it's a revision time. That's what I'll be using, hopefully. And yeah, and these are just my librarian kind of books. And then I have these emptied, you know, as I go through like my papers and all the mail that I haven't opened since we moved and all of that. I'll be just using it for kind of like office work. So it's not going to be very pretty, but for now I just decided to keep it empty just to give you guys an idea. And then finally, the exercise area. I only had 2 requirements for my exercise area, and the first one was that I'm able to look out the window at the pretty part of the neighborhood, and that's why it's here next to the window. And then the other one was that I have a shelf where I can put my water bottle, my phone, my earbuds, stuff like that. So that's very nice. And this little avocado, we used to have a walk-in challenge at work. Our team was called Holy Guacamole. No, Holy Guacamole. And we finished second, I'm pretty sure. And I've decided to get our team this little avocados, and I had one for myself as well. So because it's kind of related to exercising, like walking, exercising, I've decided I'll have it propped up here to remind me to take care of my physical health. And finally, I have the little plant buddies that I just got today. I checked the store very carefully to make sure they're safe for cats. Obviously, cats should not be nibbling on them anyway, but if they do, they're not gonna die. So that's pretty important to me. So I'm very excited that I have some green friends over here. And this is my cat who passed in December. A friend made those for me, so I decided to display them here. And that's about it. I do have this lovely sun catcher that reminds me again of one of the characters in my book. So this was a gift from my sister, and I was just, hey, you know, I wonder, I don't know, I haven't spent that much time in this room yet, so I wonder if at a certain time of the day when the sun is hitting it, if it's like sending the light in a fun dispersed manner in the room, probably. So I'll be excited to see that. But that is it. That's the room. That's my creative studio, and I cannot wait to use it as intended. But that is gonna be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you like my little studio. If you did, leave a comment. If you did not, maybe don't leave a comment. You know, we all have our own tastes. I have to say, this is not very conventional for me either. Like in my main space, I prefer to have things pretty light and neutral, kind of like Japandi/Scandinavian style. But for my creativity specifically, and for the items that I had already, this just felt so right. And so I just love being in this room. I feel full of energy in here and I'm very excited about it. So I hope you guys like it too. I'm hoping that the process might be inspiring if you're thinking about redoing an area in your house or a room into a crafting space or a writing space, a YouTube space, a gym, whatever it is you'd like to do. I hope this was a fun video to watch and you got something out of it. If you did, please give this video a like, subscribe for my channel for more content, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!